Hi folks, Stein North. Well, I'm going to do a little video here on a different topic today. Um, I'm sitting here working on the Live or Die Off the Land series, and I had received a couple of messages um, asking some questions that pertain to a survival scenario and collecting wild foods in a survival scenario. And I thought, because of those messages and the questions that pertain to survival, I thought, well, I'll do a little video on this topic um, outside of the Live or Die Off the Land, Living Off the Land series. So, their questions were, what foodstuffs in a survival scenario should I really go for right away? And well, the first thing I asked them is well, what type of survival scenario are we talking about? Um, and they said, well, any survival scenario. Well, each survival scenario is going to be different. Now, you may be in a survival scenario where you're um, lost out in the woods. Um, you may be in a survival scenario where you're lost out in the desert. You may be lost in the middle of the winter in a very remote prairie woods mix situation. Um, so there's a lot of variables that could go into any survival scenario. But what I wanted to touch on, and I told these folks I would do this little video on it, um, what I want to touch on is, and it's always played in my mind because I've actually seen circumstances where this was applied and it worked quite well, actually. Um, it goes right back to, what is survival? Survival is getting into a situation that you do not want to be in, and you want out of it. You want to get out of that situation. So we're going to, just as a scenario, you're lost out in the woods, okay? Now, the weather is moderate, and it looks like there's going to be rain. Okay, there's water nearby, a good water source, and I have a way to purify my water. If I get a fire going, I can boil water because I have a container. Let's say I have my 5 C's with. Um, Here's the other option. I, I would locate the water, make sure I have lots of water. I would construct myself a very nice, comfortable shelter so that I feel safe and warm in my shelter and I have a nice fire. And I would slowly and comfortably collect my water and firewood for my fire and take my time building my shelter. Don't put a lot of energy into it. Do it slowly, do it meticulously. Get it done well, but do it without burning too much energy. Thinking, okay, now I want to get out of here. Now, for some reason, I can't get out of here on my own. I haven't a clue where I am. I don't know which way to go. So I need someone to come to me. Well, I might construct a signal fire, um, figure out some ways to draw attention to myself. But did you notice I haven't mentioned anything about trying to find food? If I can get myself rescued in 3, 5 or 15 days, I really don't even have to consider finding food. If I'm fairly certain that this is going to be short term, I will be out of here within a couple of weeks, you're just as far ahead fasting. Now, I know people are going to say, "Oh no, you can't fast. You can't go without food for 2 weeks." Well, okay. Now, I've had people say, "Oh, well, you've watched that television series, where they send a couple out without anything." I think you all know which one I'm talking about. For 21 days, and then they come out and they lose a fourth of their body weight, and they look terrible. They're just so wore out and so beat and this and that. You're watching television. It needs to be dramatized. Look into some of the hacks on that show. They purposely muddy up these people. They make them look so rough intentionally so that it looks like that 21 days nearly killed them. The fact of the matter is a healthy person that weighs about 150 pounds can not only survive 2 weeks without having any irreversible conditions to their body. Not only can they survive 2 weeks, they can survive 3 weeks, just like in that show, 21 days, just fine without food. They need lots of water, but they do not need food. In fact, they can go up to 6 weeks without irreversible damage to their bodies without food. The hard part of that, it's because your body will start to metabolize its own fats, and that will be the energy you're burning during that fasting. The pros to it is you can concentrate on getting yourself out of your situation instead of spending all your time trying to secure enough food to feel satisfied, okay? You may not be able to find enough food to meet your caloric requirements for a daily diet of, say, 1,500 to 2,000 calories. If you can only find 200 or 300 calories and you're eating that, your metabolism, in a sense, is going to punish you because you're eating yourself into starvation. Because you're burning more calories than what you're taking in, and your body's craving those calories. It's saying, give me more, give me more. So you're suffering from the hunger pains because you can't provide enough food intake. So you're going to suffer every single day, because after 2-3 days, you're going to start suffering and you're going to be so hungry. You're going to I got to have food. Where if you were to fast and say, I'm not even going to eat, I'm just going to drink water, I'm not going to eat. After 3 to 5 days, you won't even feel the hunger pangs anymore. Now, I've tried this. I fasted for 2 weeks, and I felt really good the second week. But it's getting past that first few days. Once you get past those first few days, it's not so bad. In fact, you start feeling your energy levels coming up. You would think they'd be going down. Actually, they don't. They come up. And here's why. Because during that process, after about day 3 of no food, just water, your body starts to detoxify. Now, this is the tough part. Through your body trying to detoxify itself, get rid of all the toxins in it, you can have some rough symptoms. You can have aches and pains. You can have stomach problems. You can have headaches. You can have some people even get loose teeth. Um, why I don't know why their teeth get loose so quickly, and it's usually between 3 and 10 days um, that the detoxification process goes through. So after about ten days, your body has detoxified. Once that's done, it's living off of its fats. And oddly enough, your energy level does go up. So if you're not going to be in that situation for more than 21 days, I would say save the energy trying to secure food and put that energy in making sure that you have plenty of water, because you do have to drink a lot of water if you're fasting. It helps detoxify you. It keeps the toxins going out of your body. And you do not want to dehydrate. Oh, and another concern is after about 3 days, somewhere I would say between 3 and 5 days, you're going to feel a big crash. Now, this is based on a healthy person. You take somebody that's diabetic, or they've got heart conditions or serious health conditions, throw them in that situation. They would be most likely better off trying to maintain some kind of diet until they're rescued. But if you're in good health, there's no reason you can't fast. After 3 to 5 days, you're gonna, I take that back. At about 3 to 5 days, you're gonna feel a crash. Now, my recommendation is you try to find something high in carbs, berries, anything that's high in carbohydrates, um, and consume that day that you start feeling that crash. You'll feel that crash. It's like all of a sudden, oh, I've lost all my energy. I just feel sleepy all day. I'm just weak. Find some carbs. Eat a small amount of carbs. You don't have to eat a whole meal, but eat some carbs. It helps trigger your system back into managing its carbohydrates. Because what happens is you have a carbohydrate crash and you get low blood sugar. And it's your system trying to understand, why aren't you giving me carbs? Once it has a little bit of carbs to work with again, it gives your system time to start converting your fats into carbohydrates. And then your body starts living off of your fats. Now, if you went too long, you start getting out there like 4 weeks, and your fat reserves are starting to get down to nothing. It eventually, you'll start losing proteins, and you'll start losing muscle mass, because your body's trying to feed itself off of something that's not there. So, but there's an alternative to surviving off the land, waiting until you're rescued and you're trying to survive off the land. You're going to live off the land for that short little period of time. Maybe you won't need to. If you're in good health, now actually, someone that's a little bit overweight actually can go longer than someone that is slender, because they have more fat reserves to burn off during that period of time. Um, so, that's it, folks. Just a little thing to consider. Put all that effort into trying to find food, or give that up and just kind of relax. Make sure you're safe, secure, warm, and have lots of water, and put all your effort into signal fires or whatever it takes to get yourself rescued. because you have no intention of staying out there, and you sure don't want to stay out there for 6 weeks. So if you're in a situation where you're pretty sure you'll be rescued within 3 weeks, I would consider fasting. So look into it a little bit. There's a lot on fasting online. It's, don't take Stuy's word for it. Just and go ahead, look it up yourself. But I think it's a great alternative. Like I said, I've dabbled in it, and fasting really isn't that bad. Because once you get past that hump, yeah, you feel fine. You feel good. You actually feel better. So there you go. That's all for this video. Thanks. This is Steiner saying we'll catch you in the next video, and you all have a nice day. Bye-bye.